tragic. It was so tragic. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Walking Dead After Show here on the Stream.tv. I'm your host, Sue Castillo, with my fabulous cohorts, Timothy Michael and Michael Tiberi. And, Lord, this episode. Let's just get into it. So now we see what Morgan was, messing around with. He was making you were right about it. You said he's probably creating a jail cell. You were right. He put in the last bricks. And then we see Rick and him having that conversation like, why? Why, Morgan? Why are you making a prison? And Morgan's like, so we can have choices, which, I'm not a fan of Morgan, and I know there's some fans in the YouTube comments that have been saying, yo, we have been going hard on Morgan. True. So devil's advocate, I think it's great that there are choices other than just killing people. But, I mean, did you see the size of that jail cell?
I mean,
yeah,
ain't gonna fit all the Negans, people. Let's just be real.
It'll put some of them in there. But I agree with you. I think that having this jail cell is a good way to keep it contained with whoever comes in. But like you said, they're preparing for one or two little misdemeanors.
We talking felonies.
Yeah, they're gonna need a way bigger.
It's
a 24-hour holding cell.
24-hour holding and release them. But you would think that Rick, previous to the world coming undone, being a cop, he would kind of understand, Morgan's mentality of building a prison cell and really doing the rehabilitation thing. And then we've got, I called it, Rosita and Spencer.
You did call it.
Ooh, I did.
Oh, that's a good-looking couple, though.
Ooh, she was
putting on her belt, and I was like, oh, your stomach is so flat. You were so hot.
But then it was like a sleeping bear, because I was like, who is under that cover? And then it was like...
it's like a toddler playing hide and seek. It was like the worst cover you had ever seen in your life. And then undoes the blanket, and it was like, who is under there? These two.
Yeah.
Who's under there? And I was like, Spencer.
Yeah, you did call it. You called it.
And then they have the conversation later on so, boy, you want to talk awkward. Awkward when you
what
first.
Are we?
What are we? And, as ladies, it's always good when that conversation comes from the dude and not the other way around.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you look desperate.
And you don't look...
Don't point at me.
Yeah.
No.
You're desperate.
Are you desperate, Sue? Boy, you're getting me because of
weird.
earlier.
We're just co-hosts. Chill out.
Anyway, so we've got that to look forward to. So then we've got Rosita going dinner. How about that dinner? Dang, Rosita, I know things fell off between you and Abraham, but I like the fact that even though clearly this is somewhat of a rebound situation, she is moving forward to try and get over the situation.
I also like the character development of her now because she's been kind of MIA for the past pretty much the whole season. We haven't really delved much into her character in general, but I feel like this episode was pretty character development heavy for her character.
Yes, and as the episode keeps going on, I'm like, respect, girl. If any character on television who got dumped handling it very well, she is one of them. And then we got Carol and Daryl conversation where she was talking about those people in the burnt forest, and Daryl saying, I guess I should have killed them, and then Carol kind of walking away. Carol just kind of meandered through the episode.
I think she's a little traumatized from what she kind of went through. But I found it interesting when Daryl said to her, what did they do to you and Maggie? And she's like, us. They didn't do anything to us. I'm like, well, what does that mean? What do you guys think that means? Because I was a little confused.
They didn't do anything to us. Honestly, I think that's the only time I ever was I felt disgusted with Carol. Just only because she was like, they didn't do anything to us. They swiped Maggie. They cut Maggie's stomach and they could have hurt the baby. They didn't do anything. That guy.
And they were going to probably do something too. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that guy was trying to shoot you or break your face, and Maggie headbutted the crap out of him.
Not even in that situation in general, in the present time that they were going through it, but even afterwards, they messed with you emotionally. They had you question everything that you've taught yourself to be. So now it's like, what do you mean they didn't do anything to you? Clearly they did something to you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And the whole thing of like, for example, like run away. Like when Carol was like, you can run or whatever, or just let us go, or negotiate with Rick and the group and all that kind of stuff. It's like, I mean, listen, girl, we gave you chances. Now you putting me in a position where I'm gonna have to put hands on you.
Yeah.
That's whose fault? Not mine.
Right.
Yeah.
You, Paula. So then we've got Denise then popping up, and I love that the episode went this way, because like we really didn't get to see much of Denise.
I know.
Well, we're gonna get there, y'all.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get to see, much of that, and then we get to see the story. And I loved, remember when she was talking about to Daryl when she gave him that like ghetto oatmeal cookie?
Yes.
I missed that. That was best. I missed that scene. Like that was.
Where she was
really great.
Yeah, where she was talking about like Daryl reminded her of her brother, and I was like, man, I hope they elaborate on that a little bit more. And then here we have that kind of elaboration, and then I was saying to you too, I was like, is it just me, or did it feel like when she was talking about the apothecary place and she wanted to go and all this kind of stuff, like what was that even about? And then part of me was just like, is that her brother's store?
I know. You said that, and I was like, I thought it was a little bit of a stretch for a second.
That's a
lot. I was like, she going far. She going real far. I wouldn't be surprised with The Walking Dead because they have taken us far before, but I thought that was a little stretch. But I love that they did get back to the whole Daryl and Denise kind of brother-sister relationship when they were in the car with Rosita, and she was like, I can teach you how to drive stick, like I learned. Like, it was just like these little back and forth like quips between the two of them that I really enjoyed. But one thing that you pointed out when they got to the apothecary, how we saw like those palm prints of walkers like on the side of the building, but they weren't anywhere else, which I thought that was a really good observation from you.
Ooh, I'm perceptive. I was like, wait a minute, why are all the handprints here? But if you look at all the other stores, like just down the way, like clean. But yeah, exactly. And then we find out why when we get inside.
Right, which I thought was crazy because they told Denise that she wasn't ready, and she swore up and down that she was. And it really just made me think, like, she obviously she heard the walker, she opened the door, she found, like, obviously I guess it was this mother that drowned her baby because the baby was crying and attracting the walkers, and then she wrote hush hush on the wall, which
babies can't read.
I mean, it could have been Judith though, y'all. It could have been Judith.
I mean, why are you writing hush hush to the baby on the wall? Baby can't read.
Well, I mean, it's just, like, I love that The Walking Dead takes us into those kind of places because you don't think, like, we all as viewers just look at this and go, okay, it's not, like, walkers are everywhere. Like, you just go, you kill them. But they were once people. And it's like, if you're not accustomed to them like the Alexandrians are, like Denise was, it's hard to kind of become acclimated to this new environment and realize that these people were once people.
I'm telling you, for a quick minute, like that is so true, but for a quick minute, I honestly, like you said, you don't expect it to go a certain way, because quite frankly, I honestly, for a stretch, was like, oh my God, is it going to be a walker, baby?
You were like, it's
that's right. You had said that, and I was like, if that happens, I'm going to lose my shit.
I thought when they were getting to that little, I don't know what it's called, little baby pram thingy or whatever, that they just kind of stand in, I thought a walker baby was just going to be bouncing in there like, want to eat your face?
You know what? But insanity. To be deep for a second, though, like the baby was drowned. So, if back in season 1 they found out that the virus is living in all of them, and if you don't get killed by getting shot in the head, you become a walker no matter how you die.
Yeah.
With the baby being drowned, shouldn't it have come back? Like, shouldn't it have come back as a walker? And if not, then maybe when the baby was born, the virus wasn't in effect, or maybe it takes a certain age for it to become developed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then
that's very interesting.
Yeah, but then with the baby, it's just if it was like a.
Because I want to see a walker baby girl.
Oh, who doesn't want to see a walker?
I think we all want to see that.
Oh, we all want to see a walker baby, but like you're right about that. They drowned that baby. I mean. Oh my God! Like, I mean, I don't want to go into the what ifs of like why that baby didn't come back, but I'm just glad I'm kind of glad that after being drowned, it didn't. But oh, bless your heart, like having to be in that kind of situation, because I never thought about it with like a baby situation. I thought about it like a dog. Like if you had a dog and he's just like yeah, you're just like. I'm sorry, you know, in order to survive against the walkers, but they didn't get into the shop. They were just going to be banging all day long. But, I mean, anyways, I honestly thought everything that was leading up to that point, that maybe it was, because she was looking at, there was a cast on that Walker stew on the ground in that apothecary. There was like a cast on her foot. And she was really staring at the cast, and I was like, why would you be staring at the cast? And then even before she went in that room, she was looking at this cabinet, and there was pictures of children, like little blonde hair kind of kids, and it was a boy, and that's why I was like, she was very adamant about wanting to go here, and she would even go by herself. So that's why I thought, and then she was...
That baby had the connection of her brother's shop?
Like maybe that was her brother's baby, you know, I don't know. I mean, who knows? It might be, it might not be, but we might not ever know, because let's move forward with the rest. And then you've got, you know, Denise breaking into a car because she was like, there's a cooler, you know what I mean? And I thought, this is ridiculous. Like, why this car? Why the cooler and all that kind of stuff? Daryl and Rosita are just like, no, girl, and leaves. And Denise gets into the car, and what happens?
She had to get that cooler.
She gets into the tussle with this walker, and then she finally kills a walker, great, but then she has this, like, such a deep, profound conversation with Daryl and Rosita. Like, dang, you want to talk about, they were quiet. Have you ever, with a group of your friends, the quiet one who doesn't say anything, and somebody just mess with them,
just calls you out,
and then they just bring up all your shit.
Everything. Shit.
They bring up all your shit. You're just like,
years. They're digging deep. You're like, what? Oh my God.
They've just been watching and observing all these years, mentally recording.
Like, I ain't messing with nobody, but you want to choose me. Let's go. I mean, she was like, you know, she said the thing about Daryl, like, you remind me of my brother, and that's why you make me feel safe. And Rosita, I picked you, and yo, you want to talk about deep. Rosita, I picked you because right now you're alone.
Probably for the first time in your life.
Probably for the first time in your life.
Which is
pretty girl problems.
That's exactly what you said during the episode, and I was like, you're probably right. She probably has never been by herself because she's beautiful.
You know, gorgeous. And that choked her. Did you see her face? She was like, probably for the first time in your life. She was like, okay, I was going to say something.
You're right.
Touche, bitch. Yeah. You know, and Denise is saying all this stuff, and you're strong. You're stronger than you even know. And so true, Denise.
Yeah.
She got broken up with Abraham, went on a mission that same night, at dawn the next day, holds it down, and then in this situation, Denise gets an arrow in the head.
Can we talk about my face? I was just like,
yes.
What? I think I grabbed your leg or
you
something.
Did. I was just like, where's this coming from?
Like, I did not see that coming. Maybe you guys at home saw it coming. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't want to see it coming. I just, you know, a lot of people on Twitter are saying they killed, like, the first gay character got killed, and I wasn't even thinking like that.
Oh.
But it's true, the first gay character did get killed, but I'm more concerned with Denise just being, the doctor of Alexandria.
I agree. You just lost a big priority in that.
Right, and B, being somebody who we've kind of gotten to know, who we've actually gotten to like, and they always do that.
Oh,
I'm very upset.
my God.
They always know when to do that.
I mean, it was tragic, y'all. As shocked as we are going to cut to a quick commercial break, and then we are going to jump right back into the discussion, because we just... catching our breaths, y'all. So make sure you use the hashtag TWDAS. Stay connected. We will be right back.
But you. Oh, no.
Oh, come on.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Oh, you'd want to take the time travel the whole way back.
How did you not figure that out?
we had a crazy vampire threesome.
And you can't unsee that. That's burned into my brain now.
I was like,
How did you get here? No.
Look at me, I'm dancing.
You know why we saying yes. You know why we saying yes.
he was like, yeah, I'll tell you whatever you want.
He is quite something.
And we're like, inseparable. She was shadier than Sunglass Hut with Ray-Bans on sale, ladies and gentlemen.
It wasn't, so come on.
You just went to a totally different direction on that.
When a billionaire goes broke, it means he's got like $4 million.
Hold the phone,
Hold on.
bro.
I found her to be deliciously out of control.
Oh man, looking forward to this fight.
Ooh, they about to get together. Watch, it's about to go down.
Somebody better take some pictures of this.
She just slapped the crap out of Nick.
And he's just
It's so good.
You can't count anything out.
Look at you.
It's been another awesome night at the Stream.tv, guys.
Thank you for joining us, you guys. We love you.
Wipe those tears, girl. Wipe those tears.
Oh,
Way to
Denise.
resuscitate you during the
Oh
break.
God,
Oh,
you have to shed a tear when you kill off a lesbian character.
I
Like,
know.
it's just that's what
right?
happens.
And quick correction. I mean, I did say that she was the first gay character, to be killed. But if we think about it, with the governors, when they attack on the prison, I guess her girlfriend was kind of the
Oh yeah,
first
Tara's first
lesbian.
girlfriend. Yeah.
But I mean, she first big gay character. People, come on.
Yeah, with a lot of speaking
With a lot of
lines.
speaking
Yeah.
lines.
We talking about someone who's more than a day player. No, I'm just kidding. But we talking about a season regular. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, it was just so sad to see Denise go because she was really like stepping up and really like as a doctor, and then she dropping that therapy knowledge. And I mean, you could see in Daryl's face and Rosita's face, they were like, you know what? I feel like you helped me through it.
Help me through it.
A healing process through trauma is what I'm saying. And then that arrow and everything going downhill since then. But like, okay, let's backtrack a little bit to before it went downhill because it plays into that situation between Abraham and Eugene. So Abraham and Eugene are walking around looking for some place. They finally find this place that looks like almost like a mechanic shop, kind of, not like a car
Right.
shop, but like an engineer.
Fact.
Like an Urban Outfitters.
Urban Outfitters.
Speaking of Urban Outfitters, really quick,
Oh.
just because, like, when they got into the apothecary and they were looking around and seeing all this jewelry and stuff, you guys, if this was the apocalypse, I would look so fly, like all that, right? I would be wearing Dolce and Gabbana, like Versace. They'd be like, let's go out and
rating-
get some food. I'd be like, screw that, I need to get me some shopping.
I was thinking that
Crazy.
too, but I was like, but the only thing is like nobody's gonna see you like wearing it. You
That's
know what
for
I mean?
me.
The
I don't
same
need to
people
impress
every
nobody.
day. Like I got
Yo.
like Instagram to show off, and then nobody's gonna be liking my shit because everyone's too worried about walkers. Like, forget
We're
about
so
it.
ignorant. We're so ignorant.
Y'all so damn shallow. I'm thinking to myself, like, I gotta go to a pawn shop. I gotta give me some
Sue's
weapons.
like practical. I'm like, but I didn't only got 6 likes.
I'm like, I gotta get chastity belts. I'm a woman.
I'm
and,
sitting
you
here going,
know,
this jacket is so out of season. I didn't even know.
ridiculous. Why don't you just grab it off a walker? That's the weathered look, and you don't have to.
That's that
Oh,
Yeezy
no.
season
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you've got Eugene and Abraham. Y'all ridiculous. You got.
It's a little off topic.
They said flash sale. They got Eugene and Abraham and that altercation between them, like throwing down, and boy, Eugene.
Well, before they even threw down, I do want to touch up on the fact that Eugene brought up this major point in the comics that he has about, making bullets, which is huge because
Yeah.
it's, if you think about it, like at the prison they were trying to farm their own food. Like it's about making your own stuff at this point because resources are running low.
Yeah.
So it's like him thinking that he could make bullets is huge for them because that's
And that is in the comics.
yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Because like we said in the last episode, walkers have kind of been less on the food chain, if you will. Like they're not really the main threat anymore. The main threat is more people, and you need bullets to defend yourself against people.
Yeah.
Which was huge, and it's huge in the comics too.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Because when he said, and I'm gonna make bullets, I was like,
Excuse me?
I did not think
Come
of
again?
that. I was like, yes, Eugene.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they literally had a whose pee-pee is bigger contest
With that walker.
with that walker over a walker.
With the walker and then with
The
their
Tin
skill
Man.
set.
Yeah, with the
Tin Man,
Tin
that
Man
was a good
coming
one.
out.
Oh my God! Yeah, the Tin Man came out. I saw that Walker's head all shiny. I was like, oh, okay. You know, he gonna try and hit him and going ka-king.
Right.
And it did. That's what it sounded like in my head. Ka-tink. And that did. And then he's wrestling with him. Couldn't get that little, I don't know, rebar rod or
Yeah.
something. And then Abraham Kelly, he was like, that is not your call. I called dibs. And it's just like, this ain't a dibs situation, Eugene.
Exactly. This wasn't a dibs moment.
But I can understand why Eugene was kind of acting that way, because everybody's been treating Eugene for the long haul like he is more of a burden than a part of the group.
Yeah, and I'm glad that Abraham and him have had this dialogue together, because if you think about it, the last time that they had dialogue together was
when he got punched in the face.
So I'm kind of glad they kind of worked through that off camera. I mean, they did have a little bit of a thing at the hospital when they looked at each other and had that acknowledgement, but nothing serious until now. So I'm kind of glad that they have that. But I think you're right. Everybody looks at Eugene like he can't fend for himself, or he can't do certain things. And I'm just gonna say it's kind of his fault, because the way that he articulates and the things that he says sometimes just make him seem a little, I'm sorry, but a little slow.
Yeah.
You know, like he's not, like he tries to make jokes and it's like, this isn't a joking situation. So I mean, is it really Abraham's fault for thinking that he can't, is it everybody's fault for thinking that he can't do anything?
That's true. But then I also think about it like, if like, let's say Eugene's character, like if they did a backstory on him or something, and it comes out that he is like mild Asperger's or something, and he's like high functioning, in that essence, and he's just not about, like, he just doesn't know social cues and things like that, and that's why he acts the way he acts. He's not able to handle certain situations and be very quick call to action and things like that. Okay, maybe. And then how do those people function in this universe? Like, do we handle them with kid gloves, or do we try and help them to get better? So I like that they had that altercation too, but then the whole you outlived your usefulness, and Abraham was like, you know what? And left him.
And I respect him for that, because it just to say that, and we've obviously see that, you know, if you think about it, Abraham didn't outlive his usefulness.
No, he did not.
Because he's their asses. But I mean, it's just unfair to say.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
he
is.
did kind of protect you and save you all the way from, I forgot where they originated, all the way from down south to get to D.C. when he supposedly had the cure.
Yeah.
And then for him to just say that, I was just like, that's a little unfair.
I also feel like Eugene, part of the thing is not only with him being handled with kid gloves and stuff like that, but it was also the fact that he heard and saw what happened between Abraham and Rosita, and that he kind of felt like maybe that wasn't cool at all, and that was his way of also saying you've outlived your usefulness, kind of like checking him in a way. But, you know, then we've got like back to what happened with Denise, and my God, that group, which I originally thought, yeah, this is Negan's group, right? But then Dwight pops out, and it's the guy from the burnt forest that stole Daryl's motorcycle
and his
crossbow, and used his, if that ain't insult to injury for
Right?
Daryl.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I was like, how do you get shot with the crossbow of the guy that reminded you of your brother who got it stolen, what, like 5 episodes ago? I just, insult to injury, kick a man while he's down. Like,
Daryl said it. He was like, I should have killed him
in the
early
beginning of the
on.
episode, yes.
And then in that moment, Denise died with your crossbow that got stolen with the guy that you should have killed.
Right, and then fast forward when Eugene is like on his knees, like sitting there, and he sees Abraham behind the oil barrels, and then calls him out. We were all like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I was like, in that moment I was like, are you throwing him under the bus right now? Like, what was happening? But he obviously had other plans.
Yo, when he first did that, I said, Eugene! I was like, wait, okay, you know what? No, Eugene got something up his sleeve, but he didn't.
He had something up his mouth.
Oh, he sure did.
Michael, he did, boy. I mean, he bit off more than he could chew. I mean, he went right at Dwight, like, and he would like just, he would. Oh, let me put my hand down because
But
that
it
looked
worked.
bad. Like
But it worked. I was surprised though that Dwight didn't like take his gun in his hand and just shoot him in the head.
or punch him.
I guess when you're, I mean, I've never personally had this done, but maybe one of you YouTube guys could tell me if you ever you're bitten.
Any of you YouTube trolls.
Maybe you lose like all function in your hand and you. I mean, I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
no way. I've been like bit by a dog on the leg. Man, you are quick to like, especially
You
if it's
want
one
to
of
rip
those.
wanna get it
wherever
off,
the pain is
yeah.
censored, your brain is like, to make this stop immediately.
Make it stop. Yeah. So like,
I'm very surprised that it lasted for as long as it did.
Yeah.
it totally did. They did.
Then
cuts.
again, it is walker time, so it's not probably getting that much action. So
Well,
just kidding.
I mean, that was intense because they were like, pew, 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 get over the car, pew, 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 cut to
Eugene,
Eugene,
still doing it.
still on it. Pew, 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 over here, Abraham, cut to, still on it. I was like, what is happening right now?
Damn.
You know, and then we see that, the guy finally gets Eugene off of him. Rosita's holding it down. Guy tries to come up on Abraham. And then Rosita fulfilled more than sufficient amount of usefulness other than following men around and having sex with them.
Yeah.
Girl held it down, okay? She shot that guy that was behind Abraham.
Yep.
Despite what Abraham hurt her, greater good, the overall outcome.
And then Eugene gets shot. And then we're all sitting here like, okay, well, who's gonna take care of him because Denise is dead? And then they get him back to Alexandria, and then we find out it's just a graze kind of thing, and he'll be fine.
It had to be.
But what I loved is that they kind of acknowledged the fact that the antibiotics were gonna kind of help with any kind of infection that he might get, which is kind of a nice tribute to the fact that at least Denise didn't die for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she died with kind of a purpose.
Yes. And then we've got Abraham and Sasha. Abraham finally goes to Sasha, and you know what I mean? He was like, you told me that I had choices. You've got choices too. We could live here for like the next 30 years. And he said it still wouldn't be enough time. Which I was just like, okay, that's kind of sweet, even though you were like, I thought you were the last woman on earth with Rosita. But then Sasha was like, do you want to come inside?
Yeah.
So, we're going to be seeing that relationship develop. I don't know how that's going to affect Rosita, even if she has Spencer. It's still going to hurt.
Yeah.
Because she's going to realize she got dumped because he wanted somebody else.
Yeah, she still doesn't know that it was Sasha. Very interesting.
Then we got Carol and Tobin. Flannel Sanders is what I called him in previous episodes, and she just writes him a JSS goodbye letter. I told you someone well, she didn't write JSS in it, but she did say goodbye, but basically to everyone through Tobin.
Well, she said goodbye. She said goodbye to everybody, and I'm still a little traumatized because I mean, at the same time, Carol has been not written off the show, but she's disappeared from the show and then has popped up time and time again. So I'm crossing my fingers that she pops up again. But the fact that she said, I can't protect you, so that doesn't mean that I love you. So it means I can't love you. So she leaves. I don't get what. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Why, Carol? Why? She wrote in her letter that it was because you have to kill for the people that you love.
Right.
And so that's why I can't love anyone. So she has to leave. And I'm just like, dang.
But we do see in the preview that they're going to go after her. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh my goodness, how that's going to go. That's going to cause all kinds of trouble. Speaking of trouble, we got questions from our fans. So our friends over at undeadwalking.com has a question for us, and it is, man, this phone is slow. Okay. Oh yeah, here we go. From Mike Tomperi on Twitter, and he asks, do you think that we will ever see a series link between The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead? What do you think, Silencio? It's so quiet.
I don't
it's
think
quiet
so.
this episode.
Just because I think that they take place at two very different times in two very different locations.
Ooh.
So I do not perceive there being any sort of tie-in between the two of them.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, would it be cool? Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I think that the crossover could be really
totally.
cool, but
I mean,
don't
just to
foresee it happening.
get to each other in the same place at the same time,
Unless there was some sort of like
No.
middle opportunity. Yeah, I don't see
Yeah,
that
I just
happening.
don't. Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
it
just
took
meet
them,
up in
it took them
Kansas.
like 5 seasons to get out of Virginia. Never mind to get to California.
Yeah.
That'll take up to 12 seasons.
Oh, that
then.
would take so long.
Yeah.
And it is the apocalypse. It ain't like gas cheap.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's not like you could take a flight if you saw those like Fear the Walking Dead
Previews,
six-
miniseries.
little 60-second teasing things. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Mike. I don't think that there is going to be a crossover because of the whole timeline thing. But you know, I guess you never know
know.
because The Walking Dead is notorious for jumping the timeline
Yes.
and doing doing flashbacks and then fast forward to, and then I mean, you never know. They may do a flashback and have like someone from Fear the Walking Dead who was on a trip in Atlanta crossing paths with some Walking
that's
Dead
true.
people and then present day.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, you never know. That might kick it up a notch. And then, do we have any other fan
There
questions?
was one question I saw, and I can't recall who it was from when I was just scrolling through, and they said, do we think they will get Carol back if they go looking for her? And we kind of just briefly touched on this a second ago.
I don't know. I mean, she feels. I mean,
You think
we
she's
know that
gone
when
for good?
Carol puts her mind to something, she's gonna do it. And I feel like if she really wants to leave, she's gone. I don't want it to be that, but I don't know. But then again, I feel like they wouldn't just write her off like that. You know,
Yeah.
it's such a punk way to do Carol.
And plus,
She'll come back.
Yeah.
I don't think this is her end.
Yeah, and plus the
by any
episode
means.
ended on Morgan staring at that, porch rocking thing, staring at it intently. So you never know. He may himself
off.
go off by himself after Carol, understanding that she's trying to Liu Kang walk the earth, find peace and wax on, wax off Zen moment. I don't know. And then we've got some shout outs.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we've
Yes.
got Samantha Nixon. Samantha, thank you so much for totally staying in the conversation. We love your input. Mortar.
Bricks of,
Mortar, definitely great information that you're sending our way. Chicklet78, we appreciate all the comments that you're sending our way as well. We've got a cupcake in London, which I would like a cupcake in LA.
They don't exist here, actually.
Oh, they don't?
Yeah.
I heard there's cupcake vending machines, though.
They are.
Just for decoration.
Oh, okay.
People don't actually.
They don't
eat
actually.
them.
Those are display only.
Yeah.
We've got Harleen Q. I almost said Harlequin.
I know. I was
I
thinking the
wanted
same
to.
thing. Yeah.
But Harleen.
Who was kind of debating us
Q.
on
It's going-
YouTube.
even though Morgan's in this episode, you find a way to hate us.
Yes. So, but I like that Harleen said that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stop.
me too. Thank you
Yeah.
for challenging our stances. That's what this is about. You
Yeah.
know, if you
Yeah.
have a different opinion, let us know. We want to hear it.
Yeah, challenge our stances. Just don't be calling me names because I will come back at you. We've got Karen Shee. Karen is steady in the conversations, dropping some knowledge, and especially previous episode things like that, little nuggets of info, and I love that attention to detail.
Yes.
Karen, you on it, girl. And then we've got the Resonator.
Who
Yes,
loves you?
Raz.
He
Yes,
person
Raz.
thinks you're gorgeous all the time.
Thank you. That is why. So if you compliment me, not these two, you will get a shout out. No.
You will get airtime.
Well, stay connected, guys. Use the hashtag TWDAS. Make sure stay connected in the conversation. YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at thestream.tv. Also, follow our friends over at undeadwalking.com. And as always, we love you guys. We will be here Sunday live. So we'll see you later.
See you next week, guys. 2 episodes left.
Two more.
2 more.
For more of the Walking Dead after show,
Click that button and subscribe to thestream.tv.